Could you grab a paper clip out of the
No
pocket?
problem. Let me just sign this one.
So I'm gonna hold on to the murders for now because I've got to make copies of that. He's made it a warrant.
Who's over at the main jail, Mr. Romero?
I'm so sorry. Those go in the back.
Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge.
Just wanted to know if you were there. Good morning.
No, no.
Good morning.
Hi. Okay. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're here today in First Appearance Magistrate Court. Today, you're going to be informed of the charges, and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. You have Mr. Mr. Romero at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right in the courtroom. If you have a private attorney, please let me know when you step up to the podium. We are doing Judge Jeff Cohen's domestic violence docket. So let's start with that. Christina or Christia Smith? Christia Smith, please.
She's approaching, Judge. She's here at me.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Smith. You have ag assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence, criminal mischief between $200 and $1,000. First offense. The court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials LK. And the court's also going to order no return to 5901 Palm Trace Landings, Davie, Florida. If you go back there, you will be arrested, and I am going to impose a 1,000-foot requirement minimum from the victim and from the no return. Does she need to go back there to get her items?
He does one time, Judge.
Okay. Give me a second, State.
Sure.
All right, State, what say you?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond in addition to the other release conditions already stated. Obviously, my concern is the level of violence alleged that a kitchen knife, was allegedly used and to threaten the victim. My other concern, it does appear that Ms. Smith does not have ties to the community and resides in the Bahamas.
Okay. What's her prior history?
Your Honor, I wouldn't have access to that. There's nothing local, but then again,
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, defense, what say you? $15,000 bond.
Judge, she's not going to be able to quite afford that. Judge, that is true. She is from the Bahamas, but from what she's advised me, she's been coming back and forth from the Bahamas to South Florida for almost her whole life. She's actually working here. She's a beautician. She makes approximately $300 a week. She lives in Davie with the alleged victim. I did advise her during the pendency of this case that there's going to be a no contact order. She will abide by that no contact order. Judge, my understanding is this is her first contact with the criminal justice system. Accordingly, I understand the nature of the allegations, so therefore we'd be asking for a $2,000 bond on Ms. Smith's behalf, Judge.
All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials LK and remain a minimum of 1,000 feet from the alleged victim. No return to 5901 Palm Trace Drive, Davie, Florida, minimum of 1,000 feet. Also, defendant may return one time with law enforcement to receive personal belongings, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. And if you do have any, ma'am, you're to surrender them within 24 hours of your release to your local law enforcement. I'm going to sign an order of pretrial release here. I'm going to set the bond at $10,000. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Interject for a moment.
Let's just finish the domestic violence cases. Can we do that?
Well, the jail wants to know about Nicholas Cruz's status for this afternoon.
Oh, what about it?
Diane Cudahy has asked for the case to be reset till 1 o'clock.
All right, so
so that she
reset
can
to
be here.
1.
Okay, they just want to confirm that they're going to be bringing him this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and then we also have our extraditions. Hi.
Right. Okay, I'll have them bring him to the main jail at 1.
Okay.
You
Okay,
heard, Judge, thank you. And just for clarification, Ms. Smith, the monetary bond was just 10,000, correct?
yes.
With no form of pretrial, right?
No,
Yeah, you got it. I'm sorry. Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Hi. So
I know, but he's handling the documents.
this we're gonna reset to 1 o'clock today. Thank you. Huh?
The order
I gave it to you.
At the end of your females.
I threw it over there.
for Caballero? Oh, no, this one.
We
No,
didn't do,
never mind, I got one.
okay. Okay.
We have it.
Cruz. Nicholas Cruz, yeah. All right, Jonathan Caballero.
There she is.
Mr. Cavalier, it's your present, Judge, at Manning, he's approaching.
Okay, Mr. Caballero, good morning, sir. You have domestic battery by strangulation, dating, relationship. We have to talk about bonds. You do have probation or community control violation. You are going before Judge Edward Merrigan tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. The court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials JAD, and no return to 3109 Liberty Street, located in Hollywood, Florida.
Well, she's from Wisconsin, I don't know how she has a case here, she's from here. It's up there.
I'm inclined to do 1,000 feet minimum, but we can discuss that if we need to. What say you, State?
Your Honor, based on the level of violence, and also I would just note the allegations, what led to the alleged violence, I'm requesting a $15,000 bond, pretrial release with a GPS monitor.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Caballero, he is working, he basically delivers merchandise. He's been doing that for about a year and a half. He advised me he works about 40 hours a week, and his take-home check is about $400 per week. I do realize, however, on count 2, he has a no bond hold. So at this time, Judge, we're going to be requesting a $5,000 bond on Mr. Caballero's behalf.
Okay, based on the level of violence and the facts of this case, and based on the totality of the circumstances, court's gonna set bond to 15,000, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, JAD, 1,000 feet minimum, no return to 3109 Liberty Street, Hollywood, Florida, 1,000 feet minimum, GPS level 2, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. And if he does have any, he's to surrender them within 24 hours of his release to his local law enforcement. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Excuse me, what do you think is fair? But tell me that okay, come on, all right, fair enough. It's the same level, but it's fine. I agree, we're in agreement.
There you go.
What do you think is fair?
Here you go, Mr. Treese. Okay, next one is Adriana R. Scott.
Mr. Armstrong is approaching. Judge, you have me?
Not do the GPS one. It's $500 to the bonds. We're done.
Okay, good morning, Mr. R. Scott. You have aggravated battery offender, knew or should have known the victim was pregnant, domestic violence.
Yeah.
Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
One moment, Your Honor.
This is actually, just so you know, Mr. Romero Capi is not in custody.
Thank you, Judge, I saw that. Thank you.
Your Honor, based on the physical condition of the alleged victim, I would also note that there was apparently surveillance of the incident. I'm requesting a $15,000 bond, no victim contact. Your Honor, I would also note that from what I can tell, within days of this alleged incident, the alleged victim sought and obtained an injunction, and a permanent injunction has been granted.
Okay?
Judge, and speaking, Mr. Armstrong, as you pointed out, this is a non-in-custody case. I believe the date of incident was a couple of months ago.
It was September
Judge,
30th.
my understanding is that the alleged victim, her intention is to go ahead and fill out a waiver of prosecution. I realize that that will be handled, come to play later on, but I wanted to apprise the court of that. And speaking of Mr. Scott, he's 25 years old, been living in our community for the past 8 years. He does work. He's a Lyft driver. He doesn't own the vehicle. He actually rents the vehicle for $236 per week. My understanding is he has a clean record. We're going to be asking for a property order so that he can basically retrieve property from the location he's not going to be returning. My understanding is he's going to be reaching out to a friend of his to try and help him with his monetary bonds, the only person he knows. And my understanding is that person works at City Furniture, so obviously the financial resources are going to be quite limited. So, Judge, I do understand the allegations. They are serious, but considering his clean record, his ties to the community, his financial resources, we're going to be asking for a $2,500 bond on Mr. R. Scott's behalf.
Give me one moment. What's his prior history?
One moment, Judge. I saw no history. It's just based, so my recommendation is based solely on the allegation that the alleged victim was 9 months pregnant when this happened.
And he punched her in the stomach?
Pushed her in the stomach, punched her in the face, slapped her in the face.
All right. All right, so court's gonna set court does find probable cause, if I didn't say it, $15,000 bond, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, VP, minimum 1,000 feet, 2945, no return to 56 Ave, minimum 1,000 feet as well. Also, I am gonna do a GPS level 2. Does he need to go back there to retrieve his personal belongings?
He does, Judge.
All right, I will allow you to go back there one time, sir, with law enforcement to obtain your personal belongings. 1,000 feet, I'm sorry. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, and if you do have any, sir, you're to surrender them within 24 hours of your release. Okay, that's those two. And then we have one last one, which is Ajmal Smith.
Mr. Smith's attorney is en route, Your Honor.
Okay,
She
what's
should be
his
here in
name?
about 10 minutes.
Mr. Reedy, what's his name?
Ms. Lilas Andea,
You know how to spell that? Last name?
Ayandeeh.
D-E-H.
Yeah, I just spoke with her, and she said she'd be here in about 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, so Ajmal Smith, tell him his attorney's on their way. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Sure. Okay.
Hey,
What's-
Judge. Richard Ansar on behalf of Kadadha Abraham, last name Kadadha, K-A-D-A.
What page is that?
Yeah, let's look for it, Judge.
'Cause I looked after you
Where's your
called.
private attorney?
There
I
she
couldn't
is.
find it. Here it is. I got it. Page what? Okay, nice to see you this morning,
Yeah,
Mr.
thank you, Judge.
Ansari.
Appreciate it.
All right,
All right.
so Miss, are you Abraham Kadia? How do you say your last name? I'm sorry. Kadah, okay. All right, you have failure to comply with registration law. She self-surrendered, it's a capias,
Yes, Judge. So this
not in
is
custody. She has a no bond hold for magistrate. What say you, Mr. Reedy? I mean, Mr. Linder.
It's all right.
Keep doing that.
It's all right. Your Honor, I spoke with counsel. I would be recommending a $5,000 bond. In addition to this not in custody warrant, Ms. Kadada has a warrant.
Out of
It's
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. It's only extraditable to surrounding states, but it is for the same offense that
Okay.
she stands before the court on.
Judge. Yeah, this is a case I've been going back and forth with the arresting officer when we arrange a surrender. We're aware of the warrant in Wisconsin. It's not extraditable. She self-surrendered yesterday. The arrangements were made with the officer. She's not a flight risk in any way whatsoever. We're asking for a $1,000 bond, straight bond. I know the state's asking for a $5,000 straight bond, but under the circumstances with the self-surrender, working with the officer, I just think it's reasonable.
Let me just read something.
Sure.
Okay, $2,500 bond, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day.
You
Appreciate
too,
it.
nice seeing you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Call me when you get out. Thank you.
Ryan Barney. Ryan Barney.
Medical reset.
If you don't have it, it's because I already took it out.
All right, we'll reset it for one more day, then we're gonna have to address probable cause. Barney.
It's over there.
James Turner.
James Turner, medical reset.
Another medical reset? What's going on with the out-of-state people? Oh, no, I did not. Here you go, Miss Patrice.
No problem, Aaron. You could have
Oh.
I
Snuck away on me. Okay. Charlie Smith Martinez, please. Charlie Smith Martinez, please.
He's approaching.
Okay. All right, good morning, Mr. Charlie Smith Martinez. You have an out-of-state hold for,
Judge, she's gonna need a Spanish interpreter.
all right, so Mr. Reedy, did you call the Spanish interpreter yet?
I wasn't told we needed a Spanish interpreter.
Okay. All right, so we'll recall. Why don't you make an announcement and I'll pull them now? So we can be ready to go. Anybody need a Spanish interpreter?
Hey guys, it's a
One gentleman that raised his hand, his name is Gerardo Martinez.
And where is he?
His last name is Riaga. On what page? Page 17, Judge.
I have a Eva Garado, no? So what's the name? I'm sorry?
Martinez Regatta, the first
Martina
person on
Rica.
page 17.
I have a Victor Garcia. I have a Gerardo Martinez Regatta. That's 17. Anybody else?
No one else raised their hand, Judge.
All right,
I
thank
don't
you.
know if in the other facilities.
All right, thank you, Mr. Romero. North Broward, do you need an interpreter? North Broward.
Yes,
Do you need a Spanish interpreter, Creole, or anything else today?
Creole.
Creole, okay, and who was that? You don't need to bring them, I just need to know their name, I'm pulling the files.
It's actually one of the next cases to call, Judge. It's Marjorie Angrad. She might even be the next case I just sacked.
All right, what page is that?
Page 5, and I was told French, I was not told Creole, so let me call back.
Either one. She said she can understand either one.
Okay, but Creole might be easier than French to get.
Okay.
Hey, it's fine. That French interpreter is actually Creole.
Okay, anybody need a Spanish interpreter? Or any other language at North Broward? No? Okay, anybody at Conti need an interpreter?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Anybody at Paul Ryan?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, so we have Creole, Spanish. And Smith Martinez is what page? 3, thank you. All right, so we have those. We'll put them over here for the Spanish interpreter on Creole. John Anderson, please.
He's approaching, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson. You have counts 1 through 6, not for magistrate or KP as felonies. You do have an ad charge for an out-of-state hold out of Mississippi for a felony fleeing. You're gonna be held no bond on that. 1 through 6 is also no bond. Court does find probable cause. We'll see you in extradition court, sir, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Thank you. Eva Garrido de Rego.
She bonded, Judge.
Okay, court finds probable cause. Jessica Siegel.
North Broward.
North Broward. Good morning, Miss Siegel.
Morning.
You have refusal to submit to a DUI test, DUI with damage to property or person of another $1,000 bond, and then you have a traffic ticket, disobey, stop or yield sign not for magistrate. Court does find probable cause. What's her prior state?
Christian Gonzalez on behalf of the state, Your Honor. She does have a prior DUI in 2016, as well as a prior resisting without violence in 2014, Judge.
Okay,
The charge was dropped. The 2014.
No, she pled out, Your Honor, from what we can tell.
Your Honor, yeah, based on our information, she pled out on the 2016 DUI charge, Your Honor.
I know.
2016, what year?
She pled, in the DUI, Your Honor, it was a 2016, she pled out June 7th of 2017, was placed on 6 months probation. On the 2014 case, out to resisting without violence on case number 14-16952 MM10A on April 23rd, 2015, before Judge Cal Evans. She got a withhold.
All right, so what are you requesting?
Your Honor, the state would request a $2,000 bond based on the priors.
Okay, anything else?
No alcohol, no intoxicants, Your Honor.
All right, what say you, defense?
Ms. Segal is not gonna be able to post that kind of monetary bond, Judge. She does not have access to her debit card right now. She does not have any money with her in the jail. And, there's nobody out there that I was able to contact that's willing to bond her out. So, at this point in time, it appears that a $2,000 bond would be beyond her financial means. I'd ask the court to consider a less restrictive means.
What's her ties to the community? What does she do?
She's been living here for quite some time, Judge, I believe. How long have you been living here, Ms. Siegel?
For over 25 years, close to 30.
And are you working right now?
I'm currently in search of a job, and sitting in jail is actually going to prevent me from doing that.
And what I said earlier about you not having access to your debit card, is that correct?
And that is correct.
And is there anyone else out there other than the numbers that you
I
gave
don't
me
know
earlier?
anybody
that-
else's phone number but my mother, and I can't believe she's not bailing
And
me
your,
out.
don't. And your phone is not in property, is that correct?
I do have the money, Your Honor. I just need to get my debit card number, and I can post bail.
Where's your debit card?
My debit card's in my wallet at home.
Who do you live with?
I live with my mother.
All right. No alcohol, intoxicants, random testing at your expense. TAD monitor, 90 meetings in 90 days. Standard pretrial supervision, not gonna require a bond.
Thank you.
You're gonna report within 24 hours of your release. If you look down underneath that podium, make sure you take the English one, not Spanish.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to report, listen to me carefully, to pretrial services within 24 hours of your release.
Okay.
And you're gonna have to call in 3 times a week, report 1 time a month in person, and no reporting after court.
Okay, so I
And
need
your
to call
90
in.
meetings in 90 days need to start the day, 24 hours of you getting released. You have to bring proof, pretrial will instruct you, okay? Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you don't comply with any of the terms and conditions, they'll instruct you. When you go there, they close at 5, so you gotta get there like by 4. I don't know if you could make it today, it's by the main jail. If not, you have to be there by tomorrow. Good luck to you, ma'am. Do we have
Okay,
enough
but
TAD monitors?
I
Okay,
will be released without bail.
you're gonna be released without bail, however, it's gonna be, what time later? So if she gets a TAD monitor, then she doesn't have to, report within 24 hours, obviously. All right, I'm gonna fit you with a TAD monitor to make sure that you don't consume alcohol or intoxicants. So, or I mean, random test you too for the intoxicants, so, pretrial services will explain it to you. Will she be out today?
Depends on if we are able to contact someone and verify the information that she's given regarding her address.
Well, I'm gonna say it's verified.
Her address according to verified.
Okay. Can you give your address, ma'am, the one that's on the booking sheet?
8513 Shadow Court, Coral Springs, Florida, 33071.
House or apartment, ma'am?
I'm sorry, it's a townhome.
Is there an apartment number, like A, B, or any unit number? All right.
No,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Okay. Creole interpreter, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to translate from English to Creole and Creole to English, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right. All right, so we have, well, that's at North Broward, they said. Marjorie Angrand, please. We're there. It's on page 5. All right, Marjorie Angrand,
Yes.
Yes,
Bonjour, madame.
yes,
it's page 5.
I speak French.
Do you speak Creole?
Parlez créole?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, you're charged with trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner,
Yo charge yo trespassé en propriété.
$25 bond.
Ou besoin bon $25. Can I ask why?
Because it says, ma'am, that you trespassed, and you've been trespassed previously,
Parce que ou te fait ça déjà avant, ou al sous propriété moun, ou pas de gen droit là.
from the location of 2700. Hold on,
La location 2700.
let me finish, ma'am.
Quittez le juge en fin de parler.
Okay.
From 2700 Northwest 39th Way,
2700 39 Way,
Lakeside Condominiums
Lakeside Condominium,
in Lauderdale Lakes.
Lauderdale Lakes.
Says that you refused to leave the area after being trespassed from there
Après qu'on trespassé, voilà, ou refusé quitter côté là.
previously.
Et ou te fait ça déjà.
No.
Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna tell you.
Tan.
Ma'am, I'm gonna tell you, you have the right to remain silent.
Ou gen droit pas parler.
Anything you say or do can and will be used against you.
Tout ça dit, nous ka compter le contre ou.
You have an attorney that's representing you here in the courtroom.
Gen un avocat à représenter dans pièce là.
What say you, Mr. Reedy?
Your Honor, I was not able to speak to Miss Angrand due to the language barrier.
Avocat dit pas capable parler à cause de langue.
Ok, est-ce que m'ka bo adres kote mte ya? Parce que là, moun nan fait petit avec, on a ti bébé am gen avec ya. Non, adres, te chita nan escalier, kote moun nan fait petit avec la même, nan appartement 2540.
I was sitting down at 2540.
Ok, non.
Where, tan,
Don't
quittez me
discuss the facts of your
traduit.
case, ma'am.
Ok.
Judge, I think this case would be appropriate for Judge
Judge
Lerner Wren.
Wren? That's what I was thinking.
Faut bon mon chance traduit pour, ok? Comme ça, dis on ti bail, quittez me traduit, on ti bail, quittez me traduit.
In the meantime, ma'am, I'm gonna send you to Judge Wren.
Y a vous joindre Judge Wren.
I'm gonna leave your bond in place at $25.
Y a chargé $25.
Until your case is resolved, ma'am,
Jusqu'à ce que le case soit fini.
or until the judge changes this,
Ou jusqu'à ce que le
Specific
juge a changé
requirement I'm putting
disposition
in.
ça.
you are not to return to Lakeside Condominiums.
Faut pas tourner dans l'excès condominium là, faut pas tourner là.
20
Non, mpa nan Lakeside Condominium, nan Lauderdale Lakes, 333-111.
I'm loaded the Lakes
C'est déjà,
333111.
Et mde kon premier adresse déjà en dan, même ça c'est kay familial,
And I have
moun
the
nan
address
fait
there
avec là.
first.
L'autre nouveau adresse là, m'gen qui adresse côté m'kon travail, c'est 2541.
2541.
Ma'am,
Nord-Nord-Ouest.
please do not discuss the facts of your case,
Ok,
ma'am.
pas discuter. Avocat dit pas discuter question. Pas discuter.
Oh, l'autre appartement c'est
Pas discuter. Pas parler. Pas discuter.
I would ask the court to conclude this hearing.
It's all right, don't worry about it. Just let me finish this, I'm sorry. All right, thank you, ma'am. You'll see Judge Wren tomorrow. Good luck to you.
Ok, merci madame, wap wè Judge Wren demain. Bonne chance.
All right. Come on up. Thank you. Oh, I see, okay. Thank you, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. All right, Kathy Williams, Janello. Paul Ryan. Morning, ma'am. You have some ad charges. Count 7, grand theft between $300 and $5,000 bond. 8 and 9 are probation or community control violations. Going before your division judge, Judge Tim Bailey, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court does find probable cause. Your bond's set at $1,000 for the Target incident. And the court's going to order no return, ma'am, to the Target where this occurred, which is 3599 West Hillsborough Boulevard in Deerfield Beach. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Anybody wish to be heard?
In light of the no bond holds, Judge, no.
Okay.
Your Honor, the state would request a $2,000 bond. The reasoning for this is the priors for the defendant. In 2018, the defendant did have a grand theft. And also in 2018, she had a second grand theft. In 2018, she also had a petty theft. Additionally, after this case, Your Honor, she has a number of cases that have been filed, one dealing in stolen property and one false ownership of info, as well as another grand theft. Your Honor, this seems to be a repetitive history regarding to this, and for those reasons, the state would request a $2,000 bond rather than a one.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave the bond. I understand what you're saying, and I
Yes, Your Honor.
appreciate it. I'm going to leave the bond at $1,000. She's got it. She has a no bond hold. She'll go before Judge Bailey tomorrow.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, good morning, Judge.
morning.
I'm here on Mr. Ajamal Smith, Lila Sayende on his behalf. This was called earlier. I asked for it to be reset or
Sure.
put on a recall. I spoke with the state attorney. He's willing to give a bond.
Hold on. Let's get your client. Ajmal Smith, page, what?
2.
Good morning, Mr. Smith. Can you see your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, good morning.
Okay, all right, sir, you have aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence, and you have aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated battery, with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I spoke with counsel. My recommendation was just going to be 10,000 on one, 20,000 on two, based on the level of violence, alleged threat to kill. Also, pretrial release with a GPS monitor. Obviously, no contact, which you ordered.
That's fine with us.
All right, so the court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials CLC. And I am gonna require that Mr. Smith maintain 1,000 feet minimum. Is there a no return state?
It would be to 5740 Rock Island Road. And if it's okay with the court, if I not put the apartment number on the record, council has access to that and she can advise.
I never do.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Know what difference it makes. All right. All right, so the court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initial CLC and maintain 1,000 feet. No return. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. No return to 5740 Rock Island Road, Tamarack, Florida. Is he a convicted felon?
No, Your
He's
Honor.
not.
No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you do have any, you're to surrender them within 24 hours of your release to your local law enforcement. Court's gonna do a GPS level 2. 10,000 on 1, 20,000 on 2, for a total of $30,000.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Give me a moment. Just- Tanisha Blair. Oh, I'm sorry, we have the Spanish interpreter. Come on up. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
Very good, thanks. Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, to the best of your ability?
I do. Martin Vidal, court
Okay.
interpreters.
All right, so Charlie Smith Martinez, page 3.
Así que Charlie Smith Martínez en la página 3.
Is that your name, sir?
¿Ese es su nombre, señor?
Yeah.
All right, sir, you have an ad charge, count 9.
De acuerdo, señor. Usted tiene un cargo que fue añadido, el cargo número 9.
Apparently you have a hold out of New York
Parece que lo tienen retenido por algo de Nueva York,
for grand larceny in the 3rd degree.
por hurto mayor en tercer grado.
You're going to be held no bond on that charge.
Sobre ese cargo lo van a retener sin fianza.
We'll see you in extradition court Tuesday or Thursdays at 1 p.m.
El martes o el jueves a la 1 le veremos en el tribunal de extradición.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Gracias, señor. Buena suerte.
Page 17, Gerardo Martinez Regata, please.
Página 17. Gerardo Martínez Vergada.
He's here, present, Judge.
Está presente, juez.
Did you get to page 17?
Yes.
All right. All right, are you Mr. Regata, sir?
¿Es usted el señor Regada, señor? Yes.
All right, Mr. Regata, you have burglary, dwelling or structure, caused damage over $1,000, counts 1 and 2.
Señor, de acuerdo. Usted tiene escalamiento de morada habiendo causado daño a la estructura más de $1,000.
You have a no
Esos son los
bond
cargos
hold
1
for
y 2.
magistrate.
Para el tribunal de magistrado tiene una orden de retención sin fianza.
You have possession of burglary tools with intent to use.
También tiene un cargo de posesión de herramientas para el hurto con la intención de utilizarlas.
$1,000 bond.
$1,000 de fianza.
Grand theft between $20,000 and $100,000, $5,000 bond.
Hurto mayor entre $20,000 y $100,000 con $5,000 de fianza.
Counts 5 and 6 are probation violations or community control.
Los cargos 5 y 6 son de haber quebrantado su libertad probatoria o supervisión comunitaria.
Those are out of Miami-Dade County.
Esos surgen del condado de Miami-Dade.
The court does find probable cause.
El juez falla de que hubo motivo fundado para el cargo.
Court's going to order no return to the T-Mobile
El juez ordena de que no podrá regresar al T-Mobile,
located at 834 South Federal Highway,
el cual queda ubicado en el 834 South Federal Highway,
Deerfield Beach.
en la ciudad de Deerfield Beach.
What say you, state?
¿Qué dice la fiscalía?
Your Honor, I'm not going to be seeking no bond on counts
One and
1
two?
and 2. Yes, ma'am.
Su señoría, yo no voy a estar buscando de que no se le ponga fianza en los cargos 1 y 2, 1 y 2.
Your Honor, I am going to be seeking bonds in the amount of $50,000 on each count.
Su señoría, yo voy a estar buscando que se le aplique una fianza de $50,000 en cada uno de los cargos.
I have concerns based on the allegations
Mis preocupaciones se fundamentan en los alegatos,
for property in the community.
la propiedad de la comunidad.
I would also note the alleged amount, the value of property that was stolen.
También quiero señalar la cuantía, la supuesta cuantía de propiedad que fue robada.
And frankly, Your Honor, I know that's covered by the charge of grand theft between 20 and 100,000.
Y francamente, señoría, soy consciente del hecho de que eso lo cubre el cargo de hurto mayor entre $20,000 y $100,000.
I don't necessarily believe that the $5,000 bond's appropriated for that.
Sin embargo, yo no creo que necesariamente una fianza de $5,000 sea adecuado para eso.
But to make things easier, I'm just addressing it on the counts 1 and 2 bonds.
Pero para hacer las cosas un poco más fácil, simplemente voy a dirigirme a ello en cuanto a las fianzas de los cargos 1 y 2.
Lastly, I would note he's on probation in Dade County.
Finalmente, quiero señalar de que él está bajo libertad probatoria en el condado de Dade.
For one, the same offense he stands before the court today on,
Primero, por el mismo cargo frente al cual está el tribunal hoy,
and also a violent felony, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
y también por un delito grave de violento, agresión agravada con arma mortífera.
Should he post bonds on the local charges and be eligible for release,
De prestar fianza en los cargos locales y ser elegible para ser liberado,
I'd request that he be supervised by pretrial release services
yo pido que los servicios de antejuicio le supervisen
with a GPS monitor level 2.
con un monitoreo de GPS bajo el nivel 2.
Nothing further, Judge.
Nada más que añadir, juez.
All right, what say you, defense?
De acuerdo, ¿qué dice la defensa?
Judge, from what the state is suggesting, the $100,000 bond on counts 1 and 2 is something that Mr. Regatta is not going to be able to afford.
Su señoría, basado en lo que está pidiendo la fiscalía, una fianza de $100,000 bajo los cargos 1 y 2, eso no sería algo de que el señor Regado podrá costear.
He's 49 years old.
Él tiene 49 años de edad,
He's been living in South Florida for approximately 20 years.
lleva aproximadamente 20 años viviendo en el sur de la Florida.
He is working.
Está trabajando,
He worked for a company called Dequilix.
trabajó para una compañía llamada Dequilix,
What that is basically he installs security cameras for a living.
y eso esencialmente quiere decir de que él instala las cámaras de seguridad para ganarse la vida.
He's been working there for about 1 year, making approximately $13 an hour.
Lleva trabajando ahí aproximadamente un año y ganando aproximadamente $13 por hora.
Judge, he lives in Miami
Pues él vive en Miami
with his wife and child,
con su mujer y su hijo,
and his wife is employed.
y la mujer de él tiene empleo.
She works for a travel agency,
Trabaja para una agencia de viajes
and their approximate rent is about $1,500 per month.
y son aproximadamente $1,500 por mes lo que pagan en la renta.
Now, I do understand in count 5 and 6, he's not going to get out anyway. He's being held no bond on a probation hold, in which basically if he gets a release, Dade County is going to come and pick him up.
Yo entiendo que bajo los cargos 5 y 6, pues no se le puede poner una fianza, ya que está retenido por la probatoria y de ser liberado sobre los otros cargos, simplemente el condado de Dade vendría a recogerle.
So I'm asking on counts 1 and 2 a bond of $5,000 on each count.
Por lo tanto, en los cargos 1 y 2 estoy pidiendo en cada uno de ellos una fianza de $5,000.
So in adding up counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, if my math is correct, the defense is requesting a bond of a total of $16,000 on Mr. Regatta's behalf.
Así que a nombre del señor Regada, la defensa, de añadir correctamente los cargos 1, 2, 3 y 4, está pidiendo una fianza total de $16,000.
Thank you, Mr. Romero.
Gracias, señor Romero.
All right, the court, based on the nature and circumstances of the offense charged,
De acuerdo, basado en la naturaleza y las consecuencias del cargo como fue entablado, este tribunal
And the sophistication of the unlawful entry into the business and then going to the business next door.
Y basado también en el ende de sofisticación que conllevaba entrar por un negocio y pasar al otro,
And the totality of the circumstances,
dada la totalidad también de las circunstancias,
the fact that the defendant is on probation,
el hecho de que el acusado ya está bajo libertad probatoria,
which one of the charges is burglary of an unoccupied structure
siendo uno de los cargos escalamiento de una morada desocupada
and aggravated assault
y de agresión agravada
with a weapon
con arma,
and shooting or throwing a deadly missile.
al haber tirado o disparado un
Court's gonna-
proyectil mortífero.
Court's going to do bond of 50,000 on one,
El juez va a fijar una fianza de 50,000 en el primer cargo,
25,000 on two,
25,000 en el segundo,
1,000 on three,
1,000 en el tercero,
5,000 on five.
5,000 en el 5
Counts 5 and 6 are going to be held no bond.
y los cargos 5 y 6 serán retenidos sin fianza.
You're not to return to Genora Realty and Management, Inc.,
Usted no ha de regresar a... Your Honor, may the interpreter get a request of the name of the...
Genora, Janoura,
Hanora
Realty and Management, Inc.,
Realty Management no podrá regresar.
and T-Mobile,
Y ni a T-Mobile,
located at 844, 834
el cual queda ubicado en el 844, otro 44,
South Federal Highway, Deerfield Beach, Florida.
834 South Federal Highway en la ciudad de Deerfield, Florida.
And I want you to
Deerfield Beach.
maintain 1,000 feet minimum from that address.
Y quiero que permanezca por lo menos 1,000 pies de lejanía de esa dirección.
GPS level 2.
Se le impondrá un monitoreo de GPS bajo el nivel 2.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. You'll have to pay your bonds before they'll outfit you with the GPS.
Gracias, señor. Le deseo buena suerte y usted tendrá que pagar su fianza antes de que le vayan a poner el dispositivo de GPS.
Thank you.
Gracias.
All right, Mr. Romero, we don't need the Spanish interpreter for anything else at the main jail, right?
Let me ask again. ¿Alguien necesita un intérprete en español? No, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Tanisha Blair,
She's approaching, Judge. She's here at me.
main jail. Good morning, Ms. Brown. You have, says possess or use of weapon, first-degree felony. And then it says commit first-degree felony with a weapon. Court does find probable cause. You have a no bond hold. What say you, state?
I say there's no probable cause, Judge.
Your
Okay.
Honor, before we get into that, it's the state's position that there should be probable cause found on different charge carrying concealed firearm.
Okay. Defense?
Yes, I would agree that there is probable cause for that charge.
Okay, PC for carrying concealed firearm, which is an F3. Correct?
And I would also, yes, I'd also point out that there was no ammunition
Okay.
involved with the firearm.
Okay. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $1,000 bond as well as no firearm and no ammunitions.
What's her prior history?
Your Honor, I do not believe that she has any.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, if that's the state's request, I'd ask you then to sign a phone order. Ms. Blair is going to try and reach out to many of her friends to see if they can come up with the premium going through a bondsman.
Okay. I'll sign a phone order. I'll grant your request. No $1,000 bond, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you do have any, ma'am, you're to surrender them within 24 hours of your release to your local police department. Good luck to you. Let me know if it's an issue, Mr. Romero.
Thank you, Judge.
Daniel Dorval?
Come on up, ma'am.
Good morning, Miss Dorville. You have a felony battery with a prior conviction. Court finds probable cause. Court court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the name of Harrison St. Fleur. What say you, state?
Yeah, it was it was.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was the state's request?
1 moment, they said.
Oh, okay, I thought you were waiting, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, we're gonna be requesting a $10,000 bond. Ms. Dorval is currently out on a 5,000, she was arrested July of this year for burglary with assault or battery. The state, she posted a $5,000 bond. The state since then has filed charges, 1 count of burglary, conveyance, 1 count of battery. She also, I have to check this. On probation, Your Honor, for battery and criminal mischief before Judge Evans. She was placed on 6 months probation June 14th of this year, with her probation set to expire Friday. My concern being obvious, this is now being the 3rd allegation of violence this year against different individuals.
What's a Vine form?
Oh, I think that's the
The victim,
notification.
I didn't see one attached to here, but. What's your client's address? Where does she live? Because the alleged victim's address is 3260 Northeast Second Ave. And they're both in Oakland Park. I just want to make sure it's not the same residence.
No.
Okay, just,
It's not, Judge.
all right, I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes streets have 2 names. All right, so, anything else, State? Are you finished? Eric, you still looking?
I'm sorry, what
Are you
was-
still looking?
No.
Oh, finished, okay.
Yeah, yes.
All right, what say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, my understanding is this incident wasn't recent, and my understanding is the victim does not want to basically pursue charges against Ms. Dorval, and my understanding is the alleged victim is gonna be the actual person that posts her monetary bond. My understanding is Ms. Dorval has been here her whole entire life. She's working. She works at Pizza Hut. She's been working there for 1 year now, making $8.25 an hour, and from what she informed me, she works full-time. She lives in Oakland Park at the address that she just mentioned to the court by herself, and her monthly rent, $975 per month. Judge, now I do understand this is a felony. based on the simple fact because there was a prior conviction, or else this would be a misdemeanor, and the misdemeanor standard bond would be $1,000. So, because of what the state has said, Judge, I'd ask you at this time to consider doubling that to $2,000. And so that is what the defense is asking for on her behalf, a $2,000 bond on Ms. Dorval's behalf.
$5,000 bond, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with Harrison St. Fleur, 500 feet minimum. No return to 3260 Northeast Second Ave, Oakland Park, 500 feet minimum. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you have any, you're to surrender them to your local law enforcement within 24 hours of release. Thank you, good luck to you. You have to pay your bond and they'll let you out of jail. I'm not gonna do a GPS. Robin Sue Brooks.
Yes.
Okay. Morning, Ms. Brooks. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Home Depot in Coconut Creek, located at 4550 State Road 7. If you go back there, you will be arrested. What say you, defense?
The defendant is currently being supervised by pretrial services. She was placed on pretrial supervision on December 4th by this court on a grand theft and a trespass. She was told at that time not to return to the Walmart. Based on this court's final probable cause, we're gonna ask that her pretrial status be revoked at this time.
Say you, Mr. Reedy.
Your Honor, I'd ask you not to take any action on the pretrial release that Ms. Brooks is already out on. My conversation with her this morning, she indicated to me she's been a resident of South Florida for over 50 years. Unfortunately, right now, she is without a place to live. She does not have any phone numbers of anybody that I can call to post or help her post a monetary bond of any kind. I think that any monetary bond for Ms. Brooks is going to be tantamount to making it impossible for her to gain her release.
Your Honor was extremely gracious in giving her pretrial for her most recent arrest. You may recall, she was arrested Saturday, December 1st for petty theft. She pled out and was released Sunday, December 2nd. She was then arrested December 3rd for the grand theft that Your Honor placed her on pretrial, and now she's back a week later on another grand theft.
Judge, the only thing I can do is ask for pretrial release for Ms. Brooks, because she's not going to be able to post any kind of monetary bond.
All right, well, she should have thought of that before she went to Home Depot and took copper. So anyway, in 18-14875 CF 10A, court's gonna revoke her pretrial status, $1,000 bond on 1, ROR on 2. On this case, court's gonna make her bond $2,000. She also pled out a petty theft, no return to the Home Depot. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. Maybe you wanna try to put her on a second look, find a program, maybe James Club or something.
I'll see what I can do,
Something's
Judge.
going on.
I know that they have a new female wing there at James Club, so
Yeah,
maybe
you
we
might
can do
wanna
something
write her
with
name
that.
down and
I have.
let me know and I'll set it for a second look gladly. Melinda Schmidt. Okay, North Broward. Okay, ma'am, you have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Brews Room Restaurant located at 235 South Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. If you go back there, ma'am, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what say you, state?
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $3,000 bond. As far as priors, in 2015, she had a felony an aggravated battery. In 2013, she had a trespass, disorderly conduct, and resisting without violence. In 2012, she had an aggravated assault, additionally with resisting without violence. In 2011, disorderly intoxication. In 2011, resisting without violence. And she had a number of trespasses in 2009. A total of 4 trespasses in 2009, Your Honor.
say your defense?
Well, it appears Miss Schmidt is accused of stealing beer from Brew's room. Apparently, it was captured on surveillance, and she did cooperate with law enforcement. She did give a post-Miranda statement. Unfortunately, Ms. Schmidt, who's been a resident of South Florida for the last 10 years, is currently homeless. She was not able to provide me with the name or number of anyone that I could call to help her out. I guess in many ways she's in a very similar position to Miss Brooks. But the only thing I could suggest to Miss Schmidt was she did express interest in going to the Central Receiving Center. And maybe they can help find her a place to live. But she's not going to be able to post any kind of monetary bond.
I'll do $1,000, no return to Brews Room. Find out, same thing. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Monique Dow. The court notes that she did break into the business when it was closed.
Yes, ma'am.
Monique Dow, please.
She's approaching, Judge. She's here at Maine.
Main jail. All right, ma'am, you're charged with grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to Coles at 12200 Miramar Parkway, Miramar, Florida. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, my understand, we're gonna be requesting an ROR, and my understanding is she has a clean record. She's a registered voter here in Broward County. She's been here her whole entire life. She's going to school right now, trying to become a medical assistant. She lives with her mom. Considering this is a nonviolent offense, if the state can confirm she has a clean record, that's what we're asking for at this time, Judge.
What's your response?
Your Honor, the state would request a $1,000 bond in light of the facts. And it is true that she does not have any history, Judge.
What's your client's address?
Let the judge know your address.
1368 Northwest 69th Street, Miami, Florida.
What do you do for a living?
I go to school for medical assistant.
What kind of car do you drive?
A Nissan.
What year?
2016. It's a Nissan Sentra.
All right, I'm gonna leave her bond at $1,000, no return to Coles. Thank you. LaShara Makins?
He's approaching.
Okay, Ms. Makins, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. You have 2 violations of probation. You're gonna be held no bond on 2 and 3. You are going before your division judge, Judge Tim Bailey, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court's gonna order no return, ma'am, to the Coles at 1220 Miramar Parkway, Miramar, Florida. Go back there, just as I said to the lady that preceded you. You'll be arrested. What say you, defense?
Nothing, Judge, considering she has a no bond hold.
All right, $1,000. Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am. No bond on the other one, on the VOPs. Valencia McNatt,
She's approaching, Judge.
main jail.
Correct.
Okay, Ms. McNatt, you have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Walmart at 301 State Road 7, Hollywood, Florida. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
You can't return there, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, we're gonna be asking for an ROR on her behalf. I'll see if the state has an objection before proceeding.
Yes, Your Honor, the state does have an objection.
Pardon?
We do.
Okay,
I didn't hear what the state
they
said.
said they object to it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. McNatt's been here her whole entire life, Judge. She's 34 years old. She was working, driving school buses. She's been doing that for the past 3 years. Unfortunately, she's on a leave of absence right now, taking care of her sick child. She lives in Hallandale, in a house which she rents. She does not own. And right now, her rent is about $685. Judge, my understanding is right now it's going to be very hard for her to post any sort of monetary bonds, considering the health of her children. So, Judge, on this case, which is non-violent, my understanding is she has very limited contact with the criminal justice system, and because there's a presumption to be released on non-monetary conditions, she's not a flight risk. She's going to be coming to court, Judge. I think it's perfectly reasonable to ask for an ROR on the alternative on standard pretrial release.
State.
Your Honor, the state has no objection to pretrial release. We just want to bring it to Your Honor's attention that she does have a warrant from 2017 in Georgia for check fraud.
All right, I'm gonna put her on standard pretrial. Based on that, I was gonna ROR her, however, she does have a warrant out. So standard pretrial, let her report within 24 hours of her release. Call in twice a week. Report once a month, no reporting after court, no return to Walmart. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. Keyshawn Ross.
Ms. Ross, Mr. Ross, come on up. Keyshawn Ross.
Main jail. Mr. Ross, you have an ad charge for petty theft, second degree, first offense. Court finds probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Walgreens at 4319 North Ocean Drive, Lauderdale by the Sea. Does he have other charges pending?
Yes, Your Honor, he does.
All right, so ROR or $1, it's up to you guys.
$1.
$1 bond. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. Damian Tyrell Mack, please.
No return, right?
He's approaching.
Morning, Mr. Mack. You have criminal mischief between $200 and $1,000 first offense, $1,000 bond. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials
card.
LRF. What say you, defense?
Judge, from what Mr. Mack advised me, he's not going to be able to afford that post a monetary bond, not even the $100. He's 26 years old, been living here his whole life. He is working, works at the labor pool. So we're going to be asking the court to consider releasing him ROR on standard pretrial release.
Your Honor, the state just wants to bring to Your Honor's attention that the defendant was picked up in September for a failure to appear on a 2017 no valid driver's license charge.
You can't afford a $100 bond?
As of right now, no, not to pay on my own.
What kind of car do you drive?
She asked you a question. As far as what kind of car do you have, sir? I don't own a car. Judge, he doesn't own a car.
How do you support yourself?
Labor pool.
I'm gonna put him on standard pretrial supervision. He has to report within 24 hours of his release.
Look at the map, and that's how you actually
Call
get
in
that.
twice a
And
week.
it's judge's instructions.
Call in twice a week, report once a month, no reporting after court. Thank you. Thomas Rigetti.
North Broward, Mr.
North Broward.
Rigetti would like to resolve this if possible.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Rigetti, how are you?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
So you have trespass, failure to leave property on order by owner,
I can't
$25.
hear. Wait, you're cutting out. What, ma'am? The
Okay.
things.
Deputy, is there any way you can control my voice in North Broward, the volume?
No, it's not. It's not the volume. It's like going in and out. Like she'll be like, oh, okay.
Is it better?
It's me talking.
See, how she's cutting out. You
Yeah,
can
it's
hear
cutting
it.
out a little bit.
It's not her. I can hear her voice volume wise, but Your Honor, it's like
What's going
something.
on?
I would love to like.
Hold
but then
on,
I have
sir,
to-
don't say anything.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Hold on,
Yes.
Craig. You can hear me now?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Craig, I don't know why I was echoing and cutting out at North Broward, so.
Okay, good.
All right, it sounds good now, thank you.
Mm,
All right, so Mr. Rigetti, you have trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner, $25 bond, no return to the Walmart at $2,500.
Owner, I'm sorry, the owner, that's not that public.
Don't say anything, Mr. Rigetti. Listen to the judge.
Somebody in a t-shirt, I'm sorry. A red t-shirt is the owner? No, he's not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wasn't, I'm sorry, but I wasn't, I just, and I was gonna go inside and buy something, I had money. I shop
No
there all the time.
return to the Walmart. I'm gonna refer this to Judge Wren. Court finds probable cause, leave a $25 bond in place.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, sir, you'll
No,
see.
no, I wanted to
You'll
know.
see Judge Wren tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good day, sir.
All right, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Withholding court costs.
Marquise Orthy Sharp.
That's a municipal ordinance, Judge.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yancy Minea.
He's approaching, Judge. He's here at Maine.
Here you go, Ms. Patrice. You're welcome. All right, Maine Jail. Okay,
Yes, Judge, Maine
Mr. Minea, you have a KP as traffic. Two of them, $100 bonds.
Your Honor, if,
Operating a motorcycle without a valid license and failure to register a vehicle. Does he want to resolve them?
Judge, we're going to be asking if the court would consider releasing him ROR, and I have reasons why I'm asking for that.
Sure.
My understanding, Judge, is he didn't willfully miss court. He's a newborn father. A father. His child was born on October 28th. I believe his court date was November 6th, and the child suffered a little bit of complications. The child was premature. Basically, when his child, everything got addressed with the child, he received a letter in the mail stating that there was a warrant, and from what he indicates, he turned himself in at the Pembroke Police Department. Judge, he's right now working two jobs trying to support his family. Judge, I'm asking if the police report can confirm that he turned himself in. Judge, I'm just asking for an ROR on his behalf. He'll be coming to court.
What say you, State?
Your Honor, the state would have no objection to an ROR. However, if the defendant wishes to close the matter out, the offer is a withholding court cost on each count.
Judge, respectfully, I was talking to Mr. Minaya, and we're still asking our initial request as far as an ROR, and we appreciate the state's understanding.
ROR, thank you, sir. Look for your court date. Barton Bowen?
Mr. Bowen is approaching.
Mr. Bowen, you have two KP as misdemeanors and a KP as traffic. $1,500 bond total. Going before Judge Gottlieb tomorrow. Court finds probable cause. It's for possession of cannabis under 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and operating without a valid DL. Does he want to resolve?
Judge, Judge, in speaking with Mr. Bowen, he's right now on disability. He's applying. Well, he's actually applying. He lives in Fort Lauderdale with his mom. His mom works at a hotel in the cleaning department. Judge, we're asking for an ROR on his behalf.
No, he failed to appear on 2 different dates.
Yes, Judge.
All right, I'll leave the bonds in place. Thank you. You'll see your judge tomorrow. Jonathan Wadman.
Sir Wadman, come on up, please.
Morning, Mr. Wadman. You have criminal mischief, $200 or less. First offense, $25 bond. You ready, Mr. McLaurin? You ready? All right, after this one. Court's gonna order no return to the Metro PCS by T-Mobile, 12 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. What say you with regard to a $25 bond?
From what Mr. Wadman advised me, I lost my backpack yesterday. Long day come. Unfortunately, he has no way of bonding out. I believe whatever cash he had, I believe, was lost yesterday. He's 37 years old, Judge. He does go to grad school. He's at Lincoln College, and he pays for it through financial aid. So at this time, he's not working or anything like that. And right now, he's living with a friend in Delray Beach who's helping him out. So, Judge, my understanding is he does have prior contact, but it's remote. From what he told me, it's over 10 years ago. So we're asking the court to consider releasing him either ROR or pretrial release on this misdemeanor offense.
Your Honor, I'm asking for a bond increase to $1,000. I'm very concerned because I suspect the information that Mr. Wadman gave Mr. Romero is just not true. He has warrants out of the state of California for a burglary from 2017. He has a warrant out of the state of Texas from this year for theft. I'm showing, as far as dated priors, he was convicted in the state of California for burglary in the first degree, 2017. That's not dated.
When's that?
2017. I'm getting hits out of Missouri, Oregon, Georgia, Tennessee, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. I could be wrong, but I also seriously doubt he's a grad student.
I understand, Judge.
$1,000 bond. Thank you. Good luck to you. Luckner, Jean Pierre. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on up. You gotta stand there. I getting my tunnel vision here.
Judge, I have Jar McLaurin. I have Marquise Arthur. He's on page 10 of the docket. He's in the main jail.
I have him right here. We're waiting for you. All right. Are you Marquise Arthur? Do you hear me, sir? Are you Mr. Orthy Sharp? Can you hear me okay? All right, I need the people at the main jail to really quiet down a little bit, please. All right, Mr. Orthy Sharp, you have capious misdemeanor for possession of controlled substance. What say you, Mr. McLaurin, on the $500 bond?
Judge, he's 21 years old. He lives with his mom on and off. He does have a mental health history. I went over the charges with him. He understood what was happening. He told me he would like to resolve this matter with the plea of no contest. I was going to ask if the court would withhold and take judicial notice of the time he served.
How does he want to plea?
No contest, Judge.
And you're telling me as an officer of the court, you believe that he knowingly and intelligently knows what's going on today?
Yes, Judge, he does.
All right, withhold court costs, $78, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. Court takes judicial notice of the time that he served in the Broward County Jail. He has 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If he can't afford an attorney, we'll appoint your office or whoever. Thank you, Mr. McLaurin. That's it?
Okay.
That's it?
That's it, Judge.
Okay. Luckner, Jean Pierre. Court finds probable cause. Steve Gambles.
Mr. Gambles, come on up, please.
Okay, Mr. Gambles, you have resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, $100 bond. Count 2 is trespassing, occupied structure or conveyance. No bond required. Court's gonna order no return to 401 Northwest 27th Avenue in Pompano Beach. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Court also notes he told the police officer that he worked at the business, and when the police officer walked inside to verify it with store employees, they advised the defendant did not work there. And that's when he fled from the scene. He was previously trespassed from the community food store on 9/17/2017. Say your defense.
I wouldn't say clean I was, but the people there, a bunch of young girls, they all stupid as heck and they mean to work out like they
Wait, don't talk about the facts. Judge, Mr. Gamble was explaining to me that sometimes somebody at the store does give him compensation for cleaning up around the area. He's not formally employed. It's not like he punches a time clock and gets a weekly check or anything like that. It's something very informal. Having said that, Judge, we're going to be asking for is an outright ROR. Unfortunately, he's financially indigent and he is homeless, Judge.
He has a 2001 Nissan Sentra. Okay, what say you, State? He doesn't want to resolve his case today?
Let me ask him again.
If you want to advise, the offer to be time served on each count.
It'd be an adjudication time served, 293.
He says he wishes to accept the state's offer. The only thing he told me, I believe, is his vehicle is parked at that location. I told him
That's
I'm
fine,
gonna
I
ask
don't
the
have a
court. I'm
problem
sure
with
the
that.
court wouldn't have an objection to him just going over there for the purposes of picking up his vehicle and driving off.
I'm sure if he gets his car and leaves, it's not going to be a problem.
All right, so how does he want to plead?
No contest, Judge.
Adjudication time served, each count, 293 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. Tell him about what happens if he doesn't pay the 293. No return to the community food store. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. You have 30 days to appeal. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Darwin Mingo.
North Broward, it's a medical reset.
All right, we're gonna have to deal with probable cause today. Any objection to probable cause?
Give me just one moment, Judge, to look over it.
Sure.
No, Your Honor, no objection to probable cause.
Okay, PC found in absentia 12/11/18. Defendant to be brought back to court for bond. William Bell. William Bell.
All right, Your Honor.
This one was.
Paul Ryan.
Check the 1 through 5 is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you William Bell?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you have two change of charges, counts 3 and 6. What about 4 and 7? Those are add charges. Are we magistrating him on those?
Yes, ma'am.
I only have 12 and 13 on my cover sheet.
Well,
Which are the two change of charges?
The add charges are counts 12 and 13.
What about the change of charges then?
Change in charges are the numbers.
without using the numbers, on your findings, do you have 2 or do you have 4 charges on your findings?
On the top sheet?
Yes,
The findings in order?
yes.
I have 2.
There should be 4.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's
So, I have one at a $2,500 bond, which is 4. So 13 is 7. So this is 4 and 7. So we have, I don't know what number you want me to put on here. That's
See,
the
that's why I
problem.
was just gonna, like, generally refer to the actual offense. One, you should have the lewd and lascivious on your findings. The direct.
I have the lewd and lascivious direct promotes sexual performance by a child,
There should be showing
show
obscenities.
obscenities and transmit HIV.
Those should be the 4 on the findings.
I'm gonna add 3 and 5 here.
He had private counsel, Judge.
Who does he have?
Lance Garrett. Is that right, Mr. Bell?
Yes, it is.
Do you have his number?
I do.
What is it?
954-523-4100.
Does he know you're coming to court today, sir?
No, he doesn't.
Office, how can I help you?
Yes, Lance Garrett, please.
Oh, he's not in the office right now. I can send him a message.
Sure, this is Judge Malika calling from Magistrate Court in Broward. I have his client, William, you're on speakerphone, you're being recorded, you're in open court. I have a gentleman by the name of William Charles Bell in front of me.
Okay.
Does he have a cell phone number I can call?
Yes, it is 305
Okay,
510
thank you.
9348.
All right, if you could also leave him a message to call the public defender at 8.
Hello, you've reached Attorney Lance Garrett. Please leave me a message and I'll call you back as soon as I can. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Mr. Garrett, this is Judge Malika from Magistrate Court. We have your client, William Charles Bell, that has 2 change of charges and 2 add charges. I'm going to reset his case for 1 p.m. today in the Broward County Courthouse in the new section of the courthouse, courtroom 4155. You want to call my office? One p.m. today, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could put this with that. Thank you. Levon Gibbs.
How you doing, man?
The button go off?
Not Brown.
Put it on sidebar, get that noise.
Hello?
Hold on 1 second. Craig or Pat, if you hear me, the deputies came in. They said when I put it on sidebar, it goes down the hallway. I guess it's very annoying, to say the least. Really? All right, so, hallway, sidebar. They'll fix it, not a problem. We'll just make a note. Okay, Levon Gibbs?
Judge, I have Mr. Garrett on the phone.
Oh, you
and
do?
while we have Mr. Bell here, he's in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
So he's not sure he can be here this afternoon. Can he appear by phone?
He can appear by phone, or I can reset it for tomorrow morning or afternoon.
Did you hear what the judge
Sounds like
said?
he's being held no bond on other stuff.
She could reset it for tomorrow.
In the morning or afternoon, whatever is
Tomorrow
more
afternoon we can do it,
convenient.
yeah. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All
okay,
right,
great.
can
We'll
we
see you then,
just-
Lance. Okay.
All right, so did you hear that, Mr. Bell?
Yes, I did.
Your attorney's in Port St. Lucie, up there in St. Lucie County, so I guess that well, not I guess, he said he'll be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll reset you till then, okay?
Thanks, Your Honor.
See you. Okay, so can you write on there reset for tomorrow, 1 p.m.? This is for Mr. Bell. Levon Gibbs.
Hello, how you doing, ma'am?
Good. North Broward, all right, you have an ad charge of fraud, use, possess ID of another person without consent, $1,000 bond, court finds probable cause. What say you, Mr. Reedy?
Judge, Mr. Gibbs currently has a total of $4,000 bond on counts 1 through 5. I'd ask the court for a $100 bond on count 6. Obviously, he hasn't been able to post that bond yet. So to put him within range of maybe being able to bond out, I'd ask the court for a low bond on count 6.
Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with ELS. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state would ask that to keep the bond at $1,000, just in light of the facts behind the facts and circumstances of this particular case.
All right, I'm gonna leave the bond at 1,000 for now. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Frankel Celestin,
North Broward?
North Broward. Morning, Mr. Celestine. You have burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed, loitering, or prowling. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials PAE. And no return to 5200 Southwest 57th Street in Davie, Florida. What say you, state?
I'm going to need an opportunity to speak with him. I don't know how I missed him on my list, but I didn't talk with him yet. So could we recall that for just a few minutes?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
Okay, sir, go to the phone to your left. William Ellerby, is he at Main Jail?
He's approaching, Judge. He declined the services public defender, Judge.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Ellerby, you understand that if you want, do you have a private attorney?
Yes.
Who's your private attorney?
Jerry Williams.
Did you hire him on this case?
Yes.
What's his number, do you know?
I got it in my phone. I don't have it on my heart.
What's Mr. Williams' number, do we know? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have Jerry Williams' number?
I do not, Your Honor. I can try and. She wants to know.
I'm sure you have the number.
I'm gonna
Mr.
Google
Williams.
it right here.
Jerry Williams.
Is it Gerald or Jerry?
Gerald Williams.
Jerry.
All right, it's loading it from the bar. Nope, this is Winter Park. Why is this, isn't it GER?
That's him right there.
This is him?
Is it Gerard or Gerald?
Your Honor, I think I may have found it.
No, sir? Is it Gerard or Gerald?
Jerry.
Your Honor, I think I
Here
may
it is,
have
I
an
got it.
office. Okay. It's 358.
7.
Just said, he just said.
Jared Williams.
Hi, Mr. Williams, this is you're on speaker. This is Judge Malika calling you from Magistrate Court in Broward County. I have someone that says you represent them. You're being recorded, by the way, just wanted to make sure you know that.
Sure, I understand.
William Bration Ellerby.
Okay, yes, his bondsman had contacted me. What is he charged with?
He has a capious felony for fleeing or eluding. There's a no bond hold by Judge Usan. He failed to appear at calendar call. I don't know if you're representing him on that, on October 12th, 2018. So that's actually not for magistrate, but they just tell me that anyway. But he has count 2, capious traffic, $500 bond, for driving while license is suspended. Do you want to represent him today, or?
Yeah, I can represent him today. Is there any way,
Well, we can do it over the phone.
Your Honor, just
Yes.
to let you know, on the felony, the PD is attorney of record on that case.
Okay. Well, it's not for magistrate anyway.
No, I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I think I may have, if you can just give me 1 second here. I'm looking up I'm in front of my computer now, and I'm looking for his
Do you want the case number?
No, I don't need that. I can get it from his. What, the last name is Ellenby?
Eller, Eller, B, like a B, B-E-E.
Okay. Okay, no, I did not file a motion on his case yet. But as far as the case is with Judge Usain, is it possible for you to deal with that, or do you have to have Judge Usain take care of that?
No, he's actually represented by the public defender on that.
Okay, all right, well.
So it would just be the capious traffic.
Okay, well, I'd ask him to be, he's there. I believe he was IC somewhere else at the time, that was the case. I'd ask if you just be, ROR'd on that.
Was he in custody at the time the capious was issued? Let's see when it is. Let me see. All right, he's gonna go before Judge, who is this?
Judge Gottlieb.
Judge Gottlieb tomorrow at 9 a.m. Not tomorrow, excuse me, I stand corrected. Tomorrow he's going before Judge Usan on the capious felony. And then the next day, on the 13th, he's going before Judge Gottlieb on the capious traffic at 9 a.m.
Okay, well, I'll be in front of Judge Usain tomorrow morning anyway, so I can talk to him then.
Okay. All right, so what I'll do is, I'll set his bond at $1 on the capious traffic. He's got a no bond hold anyway. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Have a good day. Ruben Oquendo. And then we're gonna take a break.
President Judge at Maine.
Okay, Mr. Oquendo, you have a violation of probation, felony, no bond hold, grand theft between $300 and $5,000 bond. Count 3 is a probation violation or community control, no bond hold. You are going before your division judge, Judge Tim Bailey. Tomorrow at 8:30 a.m., court finds probable cause. It's a failure to redeliver hired or leased vehicle. Oh no, this is, he was allowed to stay at a residence for 1 night. Okay, so he took a bunch of items and cash out of the house. Says they were once, okay. So no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials AJS. So the failure to deliver, just to make it clear, redeliver hired or leased vehicle is part of the VOP. And no return to 243 Southwest 9th Street in Dania Beach. What say you, defense?
Judge, considering he has no bond hold, nothing to add this time.
Okay. All right, so no bond on 1,000 on 2, no bond on 3, no victim contact, no return. Thank you. Court does find probable cause. Michael Kilpatrick.
He's approaching, Judge. You see our man.
How you doing, man?
Good, sir. How are you?
All right.
All right. So you have possession of heroin, $1,000 bond, trespass, not a structure or conveyance. No bond required. Court's gonna order no return. To 4401 Southwest 62nd Avenue in Davie. Say your defense.
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Kilpatrick, from what he advised me, unfortunately, he's indigent. He's at this time homeless. There's nobody that he can contact to help post any sort of monetary bond. Judge, considering this is a possession of it's a drug offense, we're going to be asking the court to consider an off-war on his behalf.
The state objects to an ROR based on the defendant's priors and the fact that he violated probation in 2016 with possession of cannabis, which he was in jail. Possession of cocaine. As well as in 2011, he was convicted of robbery with a weapon, which he was in jail for in prison for 4 years, Your Honor. And he's a habitual offender as well. And he has 8 prior failures to appear.
Well, that's not comforting.
Judge, if I understand his, I guess it's history, Judge, would the court, rather than consider an outright ROR, would the court consider placing Mr. Kilpatrick on standard pretrial release?
I'll tell you what, find him a program or something to go to, and I'll do a custody to custody, okay? And not require a bond. He has 8 failures to appear, he's been to prison, so he's living on the streets, camping out in a place he shouldn't be. No return, sir. Thank you, good luck to you, see you soon. Might want to put his name down, Mr. Reedy. Sure you do. Keep your early representation unit busy. Victor Garcia. Let me know, set up for a second look.
Mr. Garcia is approaching, Judge.
All right. All right, Mr. Garcia, you have retail theft, $300+ coordinate with others, $1,000 bond. Court's gonna order no return to the Home Depot, 1151 West Copans Road in Pompano Beach, Florida. If you go back there, you will be arrested, do you understand?
Yeah.
What say you, defense?
Nothing to add, Judge.
Who's gonna pay his bond?
Judge, I get Mr. Garcia has had second thoughts, and now he doesn't think anyone can pay his bond, so he's asking me to ask the court for an ROR.
What's his prior history state?
Your Honor, he has a possession of cocaine in 2013, delivery of cocaine in 2011, as well as a possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia as well on that same charge. In 2009, he also had a possession of cocaine as well as drug paraphernalia with intent to sell it and distribute. In 2009, he also had another charge of possession of cocaine and possession of... Okay. In 2004, he had a possession of cocaine, and he's had a number of grand thefts prior to that in 2002, Your Honor, as well as more drug charges.
All right, no
Going back.
return to the Home Depot ROR. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. All right, we got to take a break. Thank you.
think so.
Yeah, I got that here. Proof of bond. Got my notes from last.
This one, there's a lot of detail.
And this one, it kind of dumbs it down here, but he
Wait,
was
he's on surveillance, he's identified.
Yeah, and he's identified by a shirt and a photo.
Is this the other one?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, on Fox.
Surveillance.
All right, Franklin Celestine.
Not Robert.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. All right, hang on one moment, sir, okay? Your attorney's on the phone. I'm gonna go to someone at the main jail and then I'll come back to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who do we have next at the main jail?
Judge, the next gentleman is Mr. Jamar Fox on page 16.
Okay,
Come on up, sir. How you doing, man?
good. Okay, Jamard Mitchard Fox, you're charged with murder premeditated, 2 probation violations. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state is requesting no bond, finding proof evident or presumption great.
What say you, defense?
In light of the fact that Mr. Fox has 2 no-bond holds for the violations of probation, we would defer any argument regarding proof evident presumption great at this time until Mr. Fox can have an Arthur hearing in front of his division judge. Also at this time, we'd be invoking Mr. Fox's Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. We're advising Mr. Fox that he is not to discuss this case with anyone other than his attorney. We'd also advise Mr. Fox that any telephone conversations that he makes from the jail are being recorded, and there's little doubt that the authorities are listening. We would also ask that the state be advised that neither the state attorney's office nor any agency of law enforcement attempt to contact Mr. Fox or speak with him in any way or communicate with him in any way without first contacting his attorney.
Okay, Mr. Fox, I've reviewed the probable cause, the warrant, and other affidavits, documents filed in your case, and I find probable cause. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great on count 1, premeditated murder. Therefore, you're going to be held without bond pending further order of the court. This order serves without prejudice for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge under the case of State v. Arthur. So 1 is no bond on the murder premeditated, counts 2 and 3. The probation or community control violations are no bond holds as well. And those are 2 cases before Judge Lynch. Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Judge, we
do
could
the
go
second
back
take
to
it forward.
Mr.
Hold on one moment. If you could make sure, Madam Clerk, that that paperwork is attached. Thank you. I'm sorry, to Franklin Celestine?
Yes, Judge, he's in North Broward.
Yes. Is there someone else you had?
No, that's who I was gonna ask you to call.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to take him because he was standing there. All right, Mr. Selliston, good morning, sir. You have burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is loitering or prowling. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials PAE, and no return, sir, to 5200 Southwest 57th Street, Davie, Florida. What say you, State?
If I can just have a moment, Your Honor.
Sure, take your time.
She was getting into the car. Your Honor, the state would request a $2,000 bond in light of the facts.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, I'd be asking for a $1,000 bond. Mr. Celestin has been a resident of our community for the last 3 years. It's my understanding, from what he has indicated to me, that he has no prior contact with the criminal justice system. He lives in the same location for the last 3 years with his aunt and his mother and his siblings. He just recently graduated from Melrose High School, so he is a high school graduate and resident of the city of West Park. And we did discuss the importance of not going anywhere near this residence or these individuals. But he did indicate to me he has a friend who he has spoken to since his arrest who would be able to come up with a $1,000 bond through a bondsman.
Now I could ask them, I don't know if for a fact, I have a job myself, but I don't know for a fact if they could give like 1,000 just like that, but they can pay something if I ask them.
What's your, where do you live?
West Park, Florida.
What's your
Carver
address?
Ranches, 5343 Southwest 19th Street, West Park, Florida 33023.
All right, I'll do a $1,000 bond, no victim contact, direct or indirect with PAE, and no return to 5700 Southwest 57th Street, Davie, Florida. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Arnold Jermaine Smith.
He's approaching, Judge. She's here.
Main jail. All right, Mr. Smith, at the main jail, you have a KPS traffic, $500 bond, KPS misdemeanor, $500, KPS traffic, $250. You do have an out-of-state hold for a felony out of North Carolina for fraud or obtained property, false pretense. That's a no bond hold. We'll see you in extradition court Tuesdays or Thursdays at 1 p.m. What say you, defense, with regard to the misdemeanors?
Judge, considering the out-of-state hold, nothing to add at this time. He'll be going to court tomorrow at 9 a.m.
All right, hopefully he'll resolve them. Thank you. Good luck to you. Earl Brewer Sanders.
Mr. Sanders is here at Main, Judge. Morning,
Good morning. Mr. Sanders, you have sell cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school, childcare, or park, $25,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. There was an arrest warrant issued by Judge Andrew Siegel. Judge Siegel wants the bond fully collateralized, surrender any passports, GPS level 2, and the defendant shall not possess any firearms. What say you, defense?
Judge, unfortunately speaking, Mr. Brewer Sanders, that's something he cannot possibly afford. He's been living in our community his whole entire life. He's 32 years old. He does work. He works at a labor pool, but from what he informed me, unfortunately, they don't give him full-time hours. I guess work is slow, and he only manages to obtain job about 4 times throughout the week. and he gets paid about $55 when he does get employment. Right now, he's living with his brother. They share a hotel room in Hallandale, in which they rent for about $88 per night. His brother is also employed with the same labor pool. So as you can see, Judge, he does have family that lives in our community, but they're not in a position to post any sort of monetary bond. Judge, at this time, my understanding is even though right now he's living in Hallandale at the hotel, and that may change, he does have family that, father specifically, that lives in Opelika, that he could provide the mailing address so he can make sure he gets any future court notices, because from what he advising me, he is looking forward to contest these allegations. Judge, as far as the passport issue, he is a United States citizen, and he has no passport, and I'm ready to have Mr. Brewer Sanders testify as to that particular point.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. Is your name Earl James Brewer Sanders, Sanders?
Earl James Brewer Sanders.
Okay.
Mr. Brewer Sanders, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
And do you have a United States passport in your possession?
No, sir. Never had one.
Do you have a United States passport card in your possession?
No, sir. Never had one.
Have you ever applied for a United States passport or United States passport card ever in your lifetime?
Never.
Has anyone ever applied on your behalf?
No.
Do you have any sort of documents as far as passports from any other country?
No, sir.
Judge, no further question as to that point. Judge, my only request, as far as from what the information I have, as you heard, Judge, there's no way you can afford any sort of monetary bond. So, Judge, at this time, I'd be asking the court to consider releasing Mr. Brewer Sanders on level 2 pretrial release with the monitor, Judge, because right now financially he can't afford to post any sort of monetary bond.
Anything further, State?
Your Honor, I would just request the court keep the bond and release conditions that Judge Siegel set in place on this first-degree felony punishable by up to 30 years in state prison. Mr. Brewer Sanders' criminal history includes resisting without violence that he just pled out about 3 weeks ago, strong arm robbery 2015, possession of cocaine 2 separate cases in 2014, trespass 2014, resisting without violence 2013, possession of cocaine 2012, a year and a day state prison, strong arm robbery, possession of cocaine 2011, he violated probation, a year and a day state prison, possession of cocaine 2008.
Anything further?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
All right. All right, so the court will do a $20,000 bond. See the warrant for page 2 of 2 for all the special conditions. The only one I'm gonna have deleted, someone's gonna have to write up an order, is to surrender his passport. Defendant, however, is not to apply or possess a passport or passport card of any type. So he's got to have his bond fully collateralized. Net asset value of the collateral must be in an amount equal to or in excess of the bond. Defendant shall submit to a home confinement with electronic monitoring, level 2 pretrial with a GPS. And the defendant shall not possess any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. And as I stated before about he's not to apply or possess any passports. Thank you. Jose Hernandez.
Your bonded.
Court finds probable cause. Raheem Fulton, please.
He's here present, Judge at Maine.
Okay, are you Mr. Raheem Fulton, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're charged with murder premeditated, which is murder in the first degree. You're also charged with armed robbery with a firearm. Both no bond holds for magistrate. Court does find probable cause. The warrant signed by Judge Martin S. Fine. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state is requesting no bond, finding proof evident or presumption great.
Defense?
We would object to the court making a finding of proof evident presumption great at this stage of the proceedings, Judge. That is the highest standard that we have in the criminal justice system. I have reviewed the warrant to arrest, and the state has provided no further information, no further evidence, called no witnesses, and is just relying solely on the contents of this affidavit. We would submit that that is insufficient to establish proof evident presumption great. We would ask the court to set bond for Mr. Fulton.
State, you're seeking a finding of proof evident presumption great on count 1 and count 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Raheem Fulton, the court finds probable cause, further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great for the murder premeditated and robbery with the firearm. Therefore, you're going to be held without bond on those 2 charges pending further order of the court. This order serves without prejudice for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge and request a hearing under State v. Arthur. Thank you. Good luck to you.
At this time also, Your Honor, we would be invoking Mr. Fulton's right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment. We're going to advise Mr. Fulton that he is not to discuss this case with anyone except for his attorney. We would also advise Mr. Fulton that any telephone calls that he makes from the jail are being recorded, and the odds are very good that law enforcement will be listening. Are you going someplace, Mr. Fulton? In addition to that, Judge, we would advise the state that they are not to contact Mr. Fulton in any way. No law enforcement agency should attempt to communicate with Mr. Fulton or contact him in any way without first contacting his attorney.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reed. Next case, Ryan Cuppinger.
Medical reset.
Justin Seals, please.
He's here, Maine.
Mr. Seals, you have unlawful personal possess personal ID of another for or less, $100 bond. You do have counts 2, 3, and 4, which are not for magistrates. Those are a violation of a pretrial felony. No bond holds. Count 5 is a no bond hold for probation or community control violation. You are going before your division judge, Judge Marina Garcia Wood, tomorrow at 9 a.m. And you also have an out-of-county hold for a felony, which you are going to be released on your own recognizance out of Palm Beach for uttering a forged bill, check, draft notes, grand theft. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to set bond at $1 on count 1. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Purnell Shingles.
He's approaching Judge here at Maine.
Morning, Mr. Shingles. You have false ID given to a law enforcement officer. No bond required. Possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. 3 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Court does find probable cause. State, does he have any priors?
If I can just have one moment.
Case number 18-12850 for possession of MDMA was placed on pretrial supervision on November 7th. Based on this court's finding of probable cause, we're going to answer his pretrial status.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, unfortunately, Mr. Shingles is looking for work. He hasn't been successful. He's 20. Oh, you have? You found a job? Awesome. Okay. So he is employed, Judge. From what he informed me, he lives in Fort Lauderdale with his sister, but his sister cannot afford to help him post a monetary bond. Considering this is a nonviolent offense, Judge, we're asking for the court to consider releasing him on ROR.
Your Honor, the state would object to an ROR. As far as priors go, in addition to what was already stated on the record, he's got a battery in 2018, Your Honor. In 2015, criminal use of a personal ID. In 2013, a burglary of a dwelling. In 2014, a petty theft. As well as delivery of cocaine in 2009, which violated a probation. And he just recently got out of prison September last year, Your Honor.
All right, in case number 18-12850, CF10A, God bless you. ROR on 1, 1,000 on 2, ROR on 3. And I'm going to revoke his pretrial status. For the current case, ROR on 1, 1,000 on 2, ROR on 3. Thank you, good luck to you, sir. Eric Michael Fenton. Eric Michael Fenton. Mr. Fenton, you have burglary, main jail. You have burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is a capious felony for petty theft between $100 and $300, $500 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials JS. Say you state.
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $5,000 bond. The defendant has a warrant in Georgia for failure to appear on a DUI. Additionally, the defendant also has another warrant in Georgia for a theft in February of 2018.
So he has 2 warrants?
Yes, Your Honor. Both for failure to appear and just going along with the facts of the case, Judge. The state requests $5,000.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what was the other one? Theft?
Yes, Your Honor, of February of 2018.
What say you, defense?
Judge, this being Mr. Fenton, he's basically been in Florida almost his whole entire life. I know he's lived in Georgia for approximately 2 years, but he basically grew up here in Florida. He's right now living in Plantation. He's living there with his fiance. They've been staying at that trailer for about 6 months. She is on disability. Right now, Judge, from what he advised me, she's not in a position to help post his monetary bond. As far as count 1, we're going to be asking the court to consider releasing him on pre-trial release. And if the court's inclined to do that, Mr. Fenton did advise me if the court would be willing to resolve count 2 for time served. He is working, but it's nothing stable. He's a handyman, so whenever he can get clients, that's when he works. He said last week he made about $100. So, Judge, as you can see, he financially can't afford any sort of monetary bond. So that's why the reason the defense is requesting pretrial release on 1.
Any response, state?
Sorry, Your Honor?
Any response?
Well, and that's the other thing that Mr. Romero brings up. When he allegedly committed this burglary, he's out on a pending theft that he didn't appear in court on.
All right, so I'm gonna do $2,500 on 1, leave the 500 in place. Is that here? Let me just look.
Yes, that's it. Oh, it's
So satellite,
yes, I guess he'll go before Judge Paul.
Judge Poll's on vacation, so maybe you just wanna follow up on it, one of you two from the Public Defender's Office, and make sure he goes before a judge tomorrow or the next day. No return to 390 Northwest 130 Fifth Avenue, Plantation, GPS level 2. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. Oh, I see, up here.
I think you were thinking of the,
I was doing these three, I'm sorry.
they were just in your mouth.
That's fine, I'll just keep it consistent. Sorry about that. Andres Pina,
He's here at Maine. Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning, all right, you have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed, we need to talk about bond. Count two is grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Count three is grand theft, 5,000 or more, but less than 10,000, $1,000 bond. Count four is criminal mischief between $200 and $1,000, first offense, $100 bond. Count five is driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond. So your total bond is $2,850, plus we need to talk about bond on count one. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $10,000 bond. In light of the facts, additionally, the defendant has a DUI in 2018 that violated probation, a 2017 trespass, threats to a specified individual in 2017, another trespass in 2017, trespass in 2016, another trespass in 2016, 2016, failure to leave property upon order, another trespass in 2016, another trespass in 2016, dealing in stolen property in 2014, and a number of county ordinances as well, Judge. And he additionally has a warrant in California for grand theft auto.
What year is that?
The warrant is from '08, Judge.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Pena is 52 years old. Unfortunately, at this time, he is homeless. He's financially indigent. He does have a mailing address that he can provide the court, which would be of his girlfriend. Right now, from what he advised me, his girlfriend cannot afford to post any sort of monetary bond. So, Judge, Mr. Pena is asking court if you would consider releasing him on pretrial release.
Is there a no return state? 544 West Sample Road.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's in Margate.
I believe so, Your Honor, yes.
All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials AJM. No return, sir, to 544 West Sample Road, Margate, Florida. Court's gonna do $3,500 bond on one. Count two, I'll ROR. Count three, I'll leave the bond at 1,000. Count four, I'll ROR. Is he out on a DUI, you said, or?
He resolved it earlier this year.
Okay, so he's not driving while his license is suspended on a DUI.
I'd have to check.
Can I see his driving record? This is for Andres William Pena, P-E-N-A, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. So he has out of Broward since 2016, just to let you know. 1, 2, 3. 3 failures to appear. His conviction was 226, so.
It looks like the DUI suspension was 6 months, but he had a refusal where his license was, looks like he's on a refusal suspension.
Okay. So what the court's gonna do is Make the bond on the driving while license is suspended, $1,000, so 5,500 total, GPS level 2. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. 35, and then 1,000 on 3, 1,000 on 5. The other two ROR. Anthony Mitchell.
Come on up, sir.
Mr. Mitchell, good morning, sir. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return to the target at 3251 Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, Florida. If you go back there, sir, you will be arrested. You understand? What say you, defense on the $1,000 bond?
Judge, at this time, Mr. Mitchell is not working. He is signing up for school at an institution called Everest. He wants to be an electrician. He advised me he's filling out paperwork to hopefully get some sort of financial aid so that could pay for his education. He's 27 years old, been here his whole entire life. He lives in Miami with his grandmother. His grandmother is elderly and she receives Social Security, so from what he advised me, his grandmother's not in a position to post the $1,000 bond on the grand theft. So he's asking the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will put him on pretrial release. He's got a report within 24 hours of his release. In addition to that, he's got to call in twice a week, report once a month, no reporting after court. I would like to verify your client's address. What is it?
Let the judge know the answer.
175 Northeast 159th Street, mail 33161.
All right, say it again, because I'm going to have to change it.
Yes, ma'am. 175 Northeast 159th Street, 33161, ma'am. North Miami, Florida.
It is Miami, Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
North Miami.
North Miami.
North Miami.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so standard pretrial. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. We should be able to type it and send it. They do? All right, and here you go. This one's for you. You're welcome. No problem. All right, so we only have a couple left. Emmanuel Lattimore.
Yes, Mr. Lattimore's here at Maine.
All right,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Lattimore, good morning, sir. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to the Walmart at 301 South State Road 7, Hollywood, Florida. If you go back there, you'll be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, we're going to be asking for the court to consider releasing Mr. Lattimore, ROR. He's 9 years old, been here his whole entire life. At this time, he is looking for employment. He was attending high school at North Park High School. Unfortunately, he dropped out. His grandmother passed away, and that affected him. However, at this time, he wants to pursue his GED. His intention is to
Your Honor, the state would have
re-enroll in
no
January.
objection.
Okay.
To pre-trial? ROR, okay.
He has no history.
All right, hold on. What's his address?
Let the judge know your address.
812 Northwest 10th Street, Hollandale, Florida, 33009.
All right, you're gonna have to say it again because I'm writing it down.
I'm sorry. 812 Northwest 10th Street, Hollandale, Florida 33009.
Is it Hallandale or Hallandale Beach?
It's Hollandale. Well, Hollandale Beach. When I put it come up either way. It come up either way when I put that my address in.
All right, well, I'm gonna take away beach then. Okay.
Okay.
All right, no return to the Walmart. I'll ROR him. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. I noticed a case the other day. I actually wrote Judge Siegel an email of a case he had on Monday that they did not update, the felony clerk didn't update an address. And they sent his notice to the wrong address. Huh?
That's the first stop I do. It's kind of drop off of it.
I don't know if you want to tab it for them or something, because we always check it and there's a lot of addresses and I know Michelle has to call the clerk, so. Juwan Clark, please.
He bonded.
Okay. Lakoti McCartney,
North Broward.
North Broward.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. McCartney. You have robbery, no firearm or weapon, DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense. So 5,000 on the robbery, 500 on the DUI. Count 3 is DUI with damage to property or person of another $1,000 bond. 4 is resisting an officer without violence, no bond required. 5 is flee, disregard safety, cause injury or death. We need to talk about bond. Count 6 is operating without a valid license. 7 is reckless driving, damage to person or property, no bond required. And count 8 is leaving the scene of a crash involving damage to property, no bond required. 9 is failure to report an accident, it's no bond required. You have a bunch of civil traffic infractions, disobey or avoid a red light. That has a $500 bond. Is that a mistake?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Count 10.
See, I showed it on the docket, it shows that count 1 has a $5,000 bond, and that would be an error, because the court said no bond. Yeah.
All right, so I'll cross out the 5,000 for now, but what about on the disobey red light?
There shouldn't be any bond, it's an infraction.
All right, I'm gonna put $0. Then failure to use due care, disobey, avoid a traffic device, too fast for conditions, drive the wrong side of a lane. So the court found probable cause previously, he was on medical loan, and said defendant to be brought back to court for release conditions. This was on 12/10. So the court previously found probable cause on all counts. What say you, State?
Your Honor, on count 1, I'm gonna be requesting a $50,000 bond. On count,
Tell me why you're requesting 50,000.
Your Honor, first, it's just my concern for the safety of the community. One, in this case, he robbed someone committing acts of violence against the person. But I'd also note that...
Sir?
Don't say anything, Mr. McCartney.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. We have an attorney, Mr. Reedy, from the Public Defender's Office in the courtroom representing you today. Go ahead, State.
Mr. McCartney was arrested December 1st of this year for theft and grand theft auto, and he posted a $1,000 bond on the grand theft auto. He also posted a $1,000 bond on a grand theft auto in which he was arrested November 29th, and his bond ended up being surrendered. He was released on the 2 open grand theft autos from custody December 6th. He now stands before the court on these allegations that were allegedly committed December 8th. I'd also be requesting a $10,000 bond on count 5. Your Honor, I have concerns about his future appearance in court based on the allegation.
Sorry, how much?
$10,000 on that count.
Okay.
He allegedly is, fleeing from law enforcement, driving in the wrong direction in traffic, and I would note, based on the report, that this occurred at approximately 11:20 in the morning on a Saturday. So I imagine there'd be traffic out there. They're potentially putting multiple people in harm's way, but based on his actions, solely to get away from law enforcement. Based on his third felony arrest since November 29th, I have no confidence that Mr. McCartney will not commit new law offenses while out of custody without an appropriate bond and release conditions.
Third arrest since November 29, 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. What say you, defense?
Based on my conversations with Mr. McCartney and with his mother, there's no way they're going to be able to post that kind of a financial bond. In fact, I don't believe his mom is going to be able to post any type of financial monetary bond at all.
Mm-hmm. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, GPS level 2, no driving. Till further order of the court. Just read something. Right, they're saying, state, this incident occurred at a gas station. I'm trying to see it. It just says 2320 West Atlantic Boulevard. It says the victim was at the location pumping gas. He was approached by a second black male sub by the defendant. So what gas station is this?
Just
Do we
one.
know?
I'll look it up, Your Honor.
Court's gonna do no return to the gas station. We'll get you the name in a moment. At 2320 West Atlantic Boulevard. That's it. It's a Pompano Beach.
It's strategic.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims. One case, it's ADM. The other case, it's DLA.
Guess it is. It was a Murphy USA gas station, Judge.
Murphy, USA. Thank you.
You're welcome. Guess so.
All right, sir. So GPS level 2, no driving until further order of the court. No return to the Murphy USA gas station, 2320 Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with ADM, DLA. Court's gonna do $25,000 bond on count 1. Count 2, I'll do a $1 bond. Count 3, I'll do a $1 bond. 4 doesn't require a bond. Count 5, I'll do $10,000. 6, 7, 8, no bond required. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are actually traffic infractions. So your total bond is $35,002. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Ma'am,
I'll call your mom, Lakoti.
I wanted to know if I was eligible for pretrial.
I'm gonna do a GPS level 2, but you also have to do, did I say that? Okay, so you have GPS level 2, which is an ankle monitor with all those other conditions I just told you, but you have a total of $35,000 in bond that you have to pay, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. What about Edward DeLeon?
He's here, present, main judge.
Okay,
Come up.
Okay, Mr. DeLeon, how you feeling, sir?
Okay, man.
All right, good. So you have petty theft, second degree, first offense, $25 bond. Count 2 is battery on an officer, firefighter, EMT. Need to talk about bond. Count 3 is resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. Need to talk about bond. Count 4 is trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner. That's a $25 bond. What say you state on counts 2 and 3 and any special conditions?
Let's have one moment, please.
There you go.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that the court set the bond on count 2 at $1,500, $500 on 3. It does appear that Mr. De Leon has a history with a mental health history. He had a resisting without violence that he pled out mid-November of this year. That case, it looks like at some point it was with Judge Porth because there was also a felony case pending. Then it went before Judge Lerner Wren and ultimately got resolved in her MI division. He had another resisting without violence and trespass this year. 2014 burglary of a conveyance that he violated probation in June of this year and was sentenced to 364 days. I imagine that's the case that was before Judge Porth. He's had charges dismissed in 2011 on mental health grounds. 2011 battery on a law enforcement officer, corruption by threat, just under 26 months state prison as a habitual offender. I suspect there are probably other issues that need to be dealt with that I don't know if we necessarily have the capacity at first appearance to deal with.
What's the name of the store? Why don't these officers put the name of the store here?
One moment, Judge.
I don't see it.
I'll get that
Do
for
you?
I'll get that for you right now.
That's fine.
It's Walmart, Judge.
Sir, the court's going to order no return to the Walmart located at 3306 North University Drive in Sunrise. If you go back there, you'll be arrested. Do you understand?
All right, man.
Okay. So what say you, defense?
Judge, as far as the monetary bond, Mr. DeLeon can't afford anything. Unfortunately, he's homeless and he has no one to help post a monetary bond. From what he informed me, he has no savings. He has no money whatsoever. Mr. DeLeon is asking me to ask the court if you would consider releasing him today. And also, Judge, we're going to be asking, I'm asking for a photo order so we can photograph the injuries that Mr. DeLeon sustained as a result of his interaction with law enforcement.
Anything further, State?
No, Judge.
All right, no return to the Walmart. Might want to put a note in the file, everybody, for whoever's going to be the ASA and the APD. I'll do 1,000 on 1. I'll ROR on 1, 3, and 4. So Ivy, just 1,000 on 2. I am going to do a GPS open schedule. So he'll have to pay the bond first. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. And then the last case we have The medical reset last time was William Jacob
Mr.
Davis.
come on.
Good morning, sir. Just let me refresh my memory. All right, so Mr. Davis, you're charged with aggravated battery on an officer, firefighter, EMT. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state would be requesting a $10,000 bond.
Why is that?
The defendant does have a battery on a law enforcement officer as well as resisting, obstructing without violence. He was let out recently and he violated the conditions of the pre-trial services agreement.
So he has a pending.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's the charges?
Battery on a law enforcement officer as well as resisting or obstructing without violence.
Without?
Without violence, yes, Your Honor. And additionally, just per the probable cause affidavit, the alleged strike on the paramedic loosened the teeth of the paramedic. Or tooth, I should say. Teeth? Oh, teeth. Loosening of the teeth, Judge.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Davis is 28 years old. He's been in South Florida, from what he informed me, his whole life. He gets disability. He gets about $732 per month. He lives, I believe, from what he informed me, it was an ALF and order my steps. But from what he advised me, there's no one that can post his monetary bond. So I'd ask you to take that into consideration in determining reasonable release conditions for Mr. Davis.
What's the pending case number?
18004839 CF10A.
And did he bond out, or what happened?
He was
GPS?
just placed on pre-trial with the GPS, and
So why isn't pretrial asking to revoke it like they always do?
he's already being held on revocation. Judge,
Oh, he is?
Yeah, Judge Pro signed an order.
All right, 10,000 on one, GPS level 2. Thank you.
10,000.